Hello, everybody. How are you? I am so excited for this live. I think are we good? We're live. We're live. Yes. Okay. Amazing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mom XVA. This is the community, the best place in the world for moms who are truly redefining what is possible in motherhood, what they want motherhood to look like, and those of us who believe that life has no limits. Nothing comes at a cost or a sacrifice. You can be and do and have anything that you want. My name is Bree. If you are new here, welcome. I cannot wait to get to know you. So I'll give you just a little bit of a backstory of who I am and what this group is all about, and then we are diving straight into the juice. And let me tell you, this is a juicy, delicious conversation, and there's a really fun story behind what inspired it too. But first, in case you are new here and you're like, who in the world is this Bree person? So I'm like, where do we start? I'll say that I found the VA industry 5.5 years into stay-at-home motherhood, and it was at a time where I desperately wanted something. I was actually applying to full-time jobs and thinking about, going back to work and giving up stay-at-home motherhood. But the thing was that I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to, but I felt like something needed to change. I'd been home for 5.5 years. The cost of groceries and gas felt like it had doubled. You walk out of the grocery store with one bag and you're like, how did I just spend $100? Like, what the heck? And I knew that I wanted this motherhood where I could, go take my kids to Disneyland and get the lightning passes and not even think twice about it and buy them the ears, and it wasn't a big deal. I could walk through Target and get the shoes and the lamp and the rug and the cute clothes for myself and the clothes for my kids and not worry about it. That was the life that I wanted. And, I found myself knee deep into motherhood, 3 kids, and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm living or experiencing the life that I really want. And I decided, being stubborn and impatient, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go figure out how to solve this. And so to me, that was first, let's start my own business. And then I hadn't found the VA industry yet, but I'm like, this is hard. So let me go apply for full-time roles. And it was in that job searching for full-time roles that I actually found the VA industry and realized that this was exactly what I had wanted in motherhood: the flexibility, the consistent, tangible income, doing work I love, working with people I love, but at the same time, not having to sacrifice any second of motherhood. And I, saw the VA industry. I was like, yep, this is it. I took it, I ran with it. I booked out my business really quickly. And as soon as I had done that, I was like, whoa, this is what every single woman, every single mom that I know wants. We want that consistent income. We want to do work we love. We want to have something of our own. And we also want to have complete freedom and flexibility over our lives. So I started my program. At the time, it was called Mom to VA. It's now called the VA Leadership Academy. And this is where I have helped over 400 women launch, book out, and scale their virtual assistant businesses. It truly is the best place in the world if you are looking to become a booked out virtual assistant. Amazing community, lifetime access to the coaching. We have a job board where we put roles every day. There's a plug and play training system that you can go through step by step to build and book out your virtual assistant business. So that is a bit about who I am. Now, this conversation started the secret language of high value clients. This is the pre-party to 1% VA, which is a 3-day program completely free that I am hosting and running next week. This is so juicy. Here's how this all started. It started because I also run a virtual assistant agency. One of the fun byproducts of building out my VA coaching program and having my students absolutely crush it and become the VAs that everyone wants to hire, the byproduct was that everyone wanted to hire them. And people would come to me and say, hey, can I, hire students who've gone through your program? Like, I want to go to you. These women are amazing. How do I hire them? And so we have been, signing clients into the agency and pairing them directly with students in the VA Leadership Academy. There was a couple of months ago. It was that same month, I think we signed 4 clients into the agency in the same month. And the first, because I always hop on a call with my agency clients, and they will tell me, who they're looking for, what they want the role to feel like and look like, and all of those amazing questions and conversations that you have, so that I can go make sure to find them their perfect VA within the academy. So the first person, they start telling me these things. They're like, well, I really want someone who can manage up. I want someone who can spot the bottlenecks, who is not shy or afraid about telling me what they see and ideas that they have to do it better. So the first person said this. I'm like, cool, okay, that's awesome, absolutely. And then the second person got on the Zoom with them, the second new client in the agency that month, and they're basically saying verbatim what the first person just told me. I want someone who can manage up. I want someone who's not shy about telling me where they see bottlenecks and inefficiencies. I want someone who can take things and run with it. I don't want them to wait to be told what to do before they get in action. I was like, okay, absolutely. We can, get that person in your business. And how interesting that the second person just said basically the same thing that the first person did. So then I get on Zoom with the third new client of the month, and I'm listening, I'm asking them questions, we're chatting, and they say the same thing. I was like, okay, you can't even make this up. And then I get on Zoom with the fourth new client. They say the same thing. And I'm like, okay, so there is a pattern of what clients are looking for, and specifically powerhouse clients who value and understand the power of having support inside of their businesses. The clients who don't question you on your rates, who don't need, a 16,000 step interview process. They know what they want and they hire the person. It's a simple conversation. Also the type of client who is stable in their business, and you don't have to worry about waking up one week or one day and they're like, oh, sorry, I'm shutting down the business, or decided I don't need support after all. These are the type of clients that you book and you have for years. You get to grow with them, where it truly feels like a partnership and not them just dictating and delegating the things for you to do. The type of client that's really, really fun to work with. So I was like, there is something to the way that high value clients think and move and what they look for that's very different from the clients who will haggle with you over a $300 package and then decide the next month that they actually don't even need it. And you're like, whoa, I just got whiplash. Like, what in the heck? So we are talking about that today. And then next week, we are going into 1% VA, the full 3-day program where we are going to dive even deeper into this. And I am so excited for this conversation. This is definitely a more nuanced and more depth type of conversation. Typically, when I run live programs and workshops and experiences like this, a lot of the conversations are how to become a VA, here's how to pick your services. And those conversations are amazing and so important. And if you go through the guide section here, if you listen to my podcast, if you check out my YouTube channel, you will find all of those conversations. Make Your Luck is another amazing free training you can opt into, where I walk through all of the foundational how to build your business. But this conversation, this is a fun one. This conversation is for the type of woman. You could literally decide today you wanted to be a VA, and this conversation is applicable to you. This is for the type of conversation for the woman who is self-led, who knows what she wants. She knows the type of life that she wants to create. She knows that she's not here to build a $500 a month business. She's like, 5K months are the bare minimum, but I also see so much more. That is what this conversation is for. And if you are here right now, I know that you are one of those women. You're savage, you're ambitious, you refuse to settle. You know that you can go bigger and do more, and that this one beautiful life is so precious, and like, how could you not go for it when you see the possibility? So let's dive in. Let's talk about the secret language of high value clients. I have my notes too, because I'm like, this is so juicy. I've got all kinds of magic for you today. So let's just dive right in. We are talking about the secret language of high value clients. And here's one of the core differences. VAs that typically would book, $300 a month clients, and then, these clients are not stable and they lose them and all of the things. One of the things that's happening here is perception of value and also delivering value. And a lot of it starts with the words that you use and thus shape your identity and beliefs about yourself and also about how you serve your clients. And this is task language. And then we'll talk about the opposite, which is, high value VAs, high value clients getting seen and paid and, visible. And people are like, oh, you got to go talk to this person. You have to hire them. I think their client roster is full, but maybe they can fit you in. So VAs that speak task language, this looks like I can do email marketing. I'm great at administrative support. I'm available anytime. I'm available 27 for you. My rates are cheap. Hire me because I'm cheap. Have you ever felt or thought that way? If you have, that's 100% okay. It happens. This gets to be part of the beautiful growth period and, an opportunity to decide today, like today is the day, no more. I'm a 1% VA. I'm going bigger. I'm going further. I am claiming and owning all of who I am. And I'm also claiming and owning that I get to book the most dreamy clients who freaking love to pay me. So let's talk about the difference now. So when VAs speak task language, this is a difference in perception of value versus high value clients. They think in terms of outcome language. So what does that even mean? So they're not thinking about tasks. They're thinking about the outcomes. They're thinking about the revenue impact. They're thinking about time savings. They're thinking about strategic growth. They're thinking about ROI. They're thinking about efficiency. The business owner's mind, it's not saying, I need to get this to-do list done. They're like, I want to grow the business. I want to get out of the weeds. I want to save time. I want to sign more clients. I want to work with more clients, but I don't want to work more. And this is where you can come in. And so the big shift here, and we're going to talk about messaging and positioning too, but I want to give you the context first. And I'm going to leave you with some homework today as well, which is so fun. But the context first is to really shift how you think about and also what you believe about yourself as far as what you bring to the table with your clients. So really shifting from what you can do to the outcomes that you can provide in a business and in a business owner's life too. So business owners, they speak in terms of ROI and outcomes instead of tasks. And some of the terminology, and if you have a pen and paper here, this is so fun. So I'm going to give you some terminology examples of words you might use and then what you can shift them to immediately elevate the perception of value of what you bring to the table as a virtual assistant. And I think this conversation is so cool because you all, every single one of you, and if you're ever wondering too, you're like, well, what do I have to bring to the table? What services can I offer? Go check out the guide section. There's a whole bunch of trainings for you there on how to pick your services and how to understand just how badass and savage you are and what you can bring to the table. So I never want you to doubt that. Like literally you are here because you want to be a VA, because you are a VA, because you have epic skills and you're simply bringing your corporate background, your volunteer experience, your life experience, and turning them into services. And so, the baseline assumption is that you are extremely valuable as a virtual assistant, no matter your background and what you've done. And then it's simply a simple conversation when you come to booking out your business with dream clients of how you message and position yourself, and also tying into how you see yourself, the value that you bring to the table. That is it. So let's talk about it. Executive terminology, some examples here. So typically you might say organize. I can, organize your to-do list. I can organize your email list, right? Instead of using the word organize, you can use the word optimize. And think about it. If you're like, I can organize your email list, you're like, okay, cool, that's helpful. Now, if you're like, I can optimize your email marketing, that is a whole different conversation. And do you see how that's simply semantics? A very similar task, a very similar activity, but the way that you approach it and the way that you speak about it is completely different. Okay, now let's use the same example. I think all of these will work for email. So now if you were to say, I can handle your emails, you're like, okay, cool. What does that even mean? Thanks, that's great. What if you were to say, I can streamline your email management? Oh, that's a whole different conversation, right? You're like, okay, tell me more. That sounds awesome. Let's go. Now, here's another fun one, especially because this example is a service that a lot of VAs provide. If you say, I can handle the administrative aspects of your of your business, you're like, cool, that's awesome. Okay, all right. Now, instead of admin, if you can bring strategic support or operations to the table, strategic operations, I can handle the strategic operations of your business. I can optimize, streamline the strategic operations of your business. That is a whole different conversation, right? So it's a different approach, different words, different lens, different perception of value. If you are talking about tasks, use revenue and impact language instead. If you are, this is a fun, I'm laughing, I'll share why I'm laughing, but this is a fun example of, I think this word, let me just share the word, I'm like getting ahead of myself here. So when I started in business, one of the first things I did was invest in coaching and support and mentorship to learn how to do business, because I really didn't know a whole lot. And I was like, okay, if I want to do this, I better know, the deal. And so one of the words here was scale, business scaling, right? And I remember having a conversation with someone who wasn't in business, and I was talking about like marketing and messaging and all of that, and how to frame an offer. And she's like, but when I hear scale, I think of like the weight scale, like weighing myself. And I was like, oh. And so I don't know, it makes me laugh every time I hear it, because I'm like, scale, like the weight scale. But when you are speaking to business owners, those are the words that they use. And business owners think in terms of scaling. Scaling is one of the most sexy conversations that a business owner can have and can implement in their business. And so for you, instead of using the word grow, I can help you grow your business, you can use the word scale. That's a whole different conversation there. And then same with, I can help you or provide help, all of that. If you can instead talk about systems, strategy, all of that, it's a different frame to the conversation. And one other nuance to this too, in as far as like positioning and messaging to be the 1% VA, is the biggest thing that I see between, VAs who earn kind of the lower hourly rate versus like the savage ones who are earning, 70, 80 plus an hour, which all of you can do that. Every single one of you can be there. One of the biggest things I see is they provide tasks at the lower level. The higher level VAs, which you all are there, you all are already these people. It's simply a matter of messaging and positioning yourself and going and booking these clients, is that they bring strategy to the tasks. So it's not just doing the task. Oftentimes they have their own methodology or framework or approach to the task. So let's say that email marketing is their zone of genius, is your zone of genius. Instead of simply saying that you can do that, if you say you have this is on the fly, like if you say that you have a double conversion email marketing system, like you called it that, like you basically like the outcome, right, is like doubling the conversion of email marketing. And if you're like, yeah, I provide email marketing management services and I use my double conversion system to, optimize the open rate and the click-through rate and ultimately scale your business and sign more clients into your business, that is a whole different conversation than simply saying like, I can help you with email marketing. So that's really how you want to think about it, is like the strategy that you bring to the services that you offer. Okay, so let's go right into positioning. And first I want to tell you too, the difference, because I'm sure you've heard of, if you've been in business, you've heard the buzzwords, positioning, messaging, like what the heck does that even mean? So in a nutshell, positioning is who you are. This is your strategic place in the market. And so much of it comes down to, perception of value and like core beliefs around how you see yourself and also how you present yourself. Because truth be told, in business and in life, like I'm just going to say it, first impressions matter. And I remember one of the most empowering things that I realized in my business journey was that I really do have like a say around my first impression to people. Like it is not fixed. My identity is not fixed. How I see myself is not fixed. And the way that others see and perceive me starts with me. I have to choose to be that person first. When I was building my business, like when I found the VA industry, I'm like, oh, let's freaking go. I immediately jumped into, instead of like thinking, oh, I'm a new VA and I'm hoping I book clients, I'm like, I'm a motherfucking VA. I'm gonna update my bio. I'm gonna do all the things. I'm gonna go apply to roles and like leverage my corporate background, even though I hadn't worked out of the home in like 5 years. And so that's what I really want to urge you to, is like you decide you're gonna go for it, and you're not becoming the thing or thinking about or hoping to be the thing and have the thing. Like you are the thing. You are the thing. And so the sooner that you can claim and own that and step into that, that is also how people will see and perceive you. And I just think that's so cool. Like identities are not fixed. You can decide today to elevate your identity and be the next level version of you, and step into it and, like shape the first impression of who you are. But it starts with you claiming and owning that. Like, so juicy. Okay, so that is positioning, is who you are. It's your strategic place in the market. Now, let's talk about messaging. So this is how you communicate who you are. It's your marketing copy. It's the words that you use. So let's start with positioning. And I have a couple of fun examples for you. So a level 1 VA would ask, what do you need done? A level 2 VA will ask, how can I help you? What do you think? We're going to call it a level 3 VA. We're also going to call this person a strategic partner. What do you think that they would say? If I was at my desk at home, I have these glasses and I would have pushed my glasses up, like the nerd glasses, but also the like, oh, you better watch out. Okay, so the strategic partner VA, I wish I had glasses for dramatic effect here. They would say, I've identified 3 operational opportunities that will scale your business and revenue. Here's my recommendation. Do you see, like we just talked about, they brought strategy to the tasks. They're much more authoritative and ownership over their knowledge. And they're sharing their wisdom. And it's just like, the story at the beginning. All of my agency clients said like verbatim the exact same thing of what they're looking for. Like this is what high value clients are looking for. So here's some things to add to that as a strategic partner that you can flavor your communication and language with. So you can say, based on my analysis, you can say, I recommend that we implement ... And then you can also say, this will drive, and then insert the outcome, like the outcome of the service that you're providing, the thing, and like outcome, it really is the thing that they want at the end of the day. You can talk about your strategic approach, your methodology, your thought process, how you think about the tasks and services that you provide. And another little hack here is to quantify everything. So instead of just saying, this is going to save you time, you can say and get really specific here. This is designed to save you up to 15 hours every single week. You get to reclaim 15 hours every single week. You can even go deeper there. What's the outcome of that? You get to have dinners with your family again. You're not going to be waking up at 2 a.m. anymore stressing about your business. I got it taken care of for you. Oh, I love you forever. Thank you. So instead of saying, I will help your business, you can say, this system increases client retention by 30%, as an example. So you want to get specific, quantify it, let them see and feel what the outcome would be, And that's going to really drive the perception of value, and for them, make it such an easier decision to invest in your services and support. Okay, now, so that was positioning. Positioning is who you are, what you bring to the table, your identity, your core beliefs, first impressions, how people see and view you, how you present yourself as a person, as a VA, the flavor that you bring to your work. Okay, now let's talk about messaging. And to recap, messaging is your marketing copy. It's how you communicate about who you are and what you do. So I want to give you a framework here. If you have a notepad and pen, get it out. Okay, so number one, this is a messaging makeover for your VA business, for your services, for the work that you do, for who you are and how you present yourself and your business. So number one, I want you to think about identifying the business outcome that your clients want. And this is what they really want at the end of the day. And let me give you a little hack too. The more that you can put it into their words, the deeper it'll land. Well, let me explain what I mean by that. We all love us some good AI, right? Like, let's be real. We probably have like a situationship with ChatGPT or Claude, and that's cool. Like, it's amazing. It makes you so much more efficient in your business and your life. But here's what I see happen a lot. If you let AI take your copy and run with it, a lot of times it sounds like gobbledygook. Like, it's just like, wait, that's a word salad. What do these words even mean? I would never use precision and brilliance, in my daily language. And I think it's also really obvious too, if like you've literally just copied and pasted AI into your marketing and your messaging. Not to say like I love AI, right? But there's an art to knowing how to use it well. And so one of the things, if you are using AI to help you ideate on your messaging and positioning and how your clients perceive you in the marketplace, if you are, dumb down the language. You want to make sure that it's in their words and really clear. Like, clarity always wins. Clarity over fancy, clarity over fluff. Really clear, simple language. You can ask it to rewrite it in like the 6th grade reading level. That helps a lot too. But the other thing, when it comes to this, when using their language, identifying what they really want, another thing that you can do is vision paint. This was one of the most valuable things that I ever learned about business just a couple months into my journey, actually before I found the VA industry. And it 100% helped me book out my VA industry, and it also helped me grow my coaching program, the VA Leadership Academy. And this is where you paint the picture and paint examples for them of perhaps their current reality and also where they want to be. Because the thing is that people move through emotion and they justify it with logic. So that more that you can tap into the emotion and the feeling of the outcome, the thing that they want, versus what the thing actually is, the more you will move your dream clients into hiring you immediately and loving to pay you every single month. And so an example of that is, let's say that you do social media. Instead of saying, yeah, I offer social media management, hire me, I'm available 24/7, I love what I do, I can help you, hire me. Instead of saying that, you can vision paint the outcome for them. You can talk about your process, your methodology, the strategic approach that you bring to social media, and you can say, my content conversion system is so powerful that you will wake up to dozens of DMs in your inbox from dream clients asking you how they can pay with you and work with you. They're ready to pay in full. They want to get started today. Can you feel like if a client who was struggling with social media, they wanted their social media to be better, to convert more, if you brought that strategic approach to content and they're like, oh yes, like that is exactly what I wanted, thank you, how can we get started? I do want to wake up to this reality. If you can bring that into your messaging, you will move people. Okay? Number 2, next, you are connecting your service to that outcome. So here you are bridging the gap. So let's go back to the example that we just did. My content conversion system. Oh wait, hold on. You will wake up, so I'm vision painting. You will wake up to your DMs full of dream clients who saw your content yesterday throughout the night, and they're asking how they can pay you, how they can work with you. They see you as the authority. They're an instant in, an instant yes, and then you bridge the gap. This is exactly what I do with my, I'm making up a name, but you can put a name, like you can make your own methodology with my double conversion content system. I just made that up. But so essentially you are identifying the outcome and you're putting it in their words, what they actually want. You can vision paint the outcome for them. Then you're connecting your service to that. So you're bridging the gap. And then the next thing, like we talked about, is make sure that it's in their language. We don't want any AI gobbledygook where we're like, wait, I would never actually use that word in real life. Don't put that in your marketing copy. You want to speak their language, but not the language that we read in textbooks. You want to speak the language of what goes on in their head. Okay, so your homework for today, listen to this again, take notes, identify areas of opportunity where you're like, oh, this is an instant shift. And I encourage you, like information doesn't mean anything without implementation. So I encourage you to go look at your portfolio, to go look at your services and identify based off this simple 30-minute live training, what you can elevate, upgrade, and do it today. Do it today. And perhaps it starts with a simple, loving and loving and shoving conversation with yourself where you're like, hey, I know that I'm valuable. I know that I can go book dream clients. It comes down to how I perceive myself and how I present myself. And today I choose to elevate into my next level identity. Might be a simple love and shove conversation that you have with yourself. Then you go look at all your messaging, your positioning, make those updates today. Okay. And then look at your services. And I want you to go through the messaging makeover framework with your services. So just to recap, you're identifying the outcome that they want. What do they really, really want? Not just the task, but what's the outcome of the task, the service that they want. Then you're going to connect your particular service to that outcome. You're going to bridge the gap and you're going to make sure that it's in their language. And not the gobbledygook AI language, but what they think in their head. They really want to grow their business at the end of the day. They want to work less, they want to earn more, they want to have more fun, less stress, all that good stuff. Okay. If you have loved this conversation and you're like, oh baby, this is going to change my life, this is going to change my business, I want you to come to 1% VA next week. It's completely free. It's going to be on fire. There's going to be amazing giveaways. Like, are you kidding me? Ah, they're so good. Just be there. It's going to be a party. Every live event and experience in my world is always a good time. We have the best time and the best community. Come hang out with other powerhouse VAs. So I did link, there's a pinned comment under the live. You can join 1% VA. Come hang out with us next week. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And get ready to literally by the end of next Wednesday, when we finish 1% VA, you will not be the same person. You will not be the same VA. You will not have the same dreams. You will be the next level version of yourself, your business, your life, your vision, your dreams. It's going to be so good. So make sure you click that link, get on the list. You're going to get all the email reminders, and show up live with us next week. Like I mentioned, amazing giveaways. It's going to be epic. Okay. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning.